Welcome to Neraxon Game of Life. Here we have a follow-up in our paper of Neraxon to be able to create some game-like life situation where Neraxons can live, and of course can try to be more time on that new world that we create. This world creator lets you set up the world size, that is the parameters of how many tiles in X and Y this world is going to have, how much of this world is going to be sea, how much is going to be rock, how many of the Neuraxons are going to start. We can start with 70, where we can move this up or down. The number of food sources that they are going to have, they need to eat, otherwise they're going to die. This food also need to be respawned. They start with some food, so basically they can start to live with less or higher number of food. They need to find it, of course, otherwise they're going to die. And the maximum number of neurons that they have. There are also other parameters regarding how they get together. This is the map. The map, every time that you create a new map, is going to be different. You can zoom in, zoom out, or you can pan through the map. And all these round things that you see are the Neuraxoners. These triangles are the foods that they are going to, they need to try to find them. And of course, this green thing is the land, and this blue thing is the sea. Here you have a metrics, and you can start the game. Once you start the game, the Neuraxoners are going to start moving around, trying to find out what to do. They're going to do that by the number of input neurons and output neurons that they have. This is one of the fixed parameters. The input neurons are going to let them see what is going to happen in the world. For example, if they move, they're going to tell through these input parameters if they have found another Neuraxon, if they have found some food, if they have found some sort of different kind of land. And the output are going to let them live in some sense. There are 4 output neurons. 2 of them are related to how they move. There is one output neuron that is related to moving left or right or not moving, since these are trinary values. And there is another of the output neurons that is related to going up or down or not moving again. Of course, they can go in different angles, as you can see. Then there are another 2 output neurons that are going to be related to their behavior. For example, when they get into a food, if they are going to take it or not. And when they get across some other Neuraxoner, in case one is male and the other is female, they can mate. And if they mate, like you see here, we have now 14 newborns. That's one of the things that can happen if this output neuron is related to that. The number of neurons in the middle, the higher neurons, those are going to be different for each of the Neuraxoner. Here you have the metrics. The game is played in rounds. Each round they are going to try to be alive as much time as possible. As you see, some of them are starting to die. And some of them are starting to burn. Basically, they were able to mate. Here you have the best ones. The best ones, we do it in different metrics. One of the metrics is the number of food that they were able to find, and that's one of the fundamental metrics. You need to find food in order to live. You need also you can also steal food, and some of these, for example, like this one that has died, was the most food stealer. As you can see, when 2 Neuraxon mates, this is the name of the Neuraxon, they mix the names with this slash in the middle. We have also the world explorer. They need to explore to continue live, and that's one of the good metrics too. This is the time that they have been living in this toy world, and this is the number of mates, how many childs they had. Fitness is a metric that we create to try to see how are adapting to this new world. I think this is one of the fundamental things. And here you have the final metrics. Of course, you can pause the game at any time. You can play again. You can save and load in case you want to continue later. And after the full game is finished, what is going to happen is that it's going to be restarted, basically with the champions, with the best 3 of some of these metrics. If you pause the game at any time, you can click on any of the Neuraxoners and see, for example, this is the Neraxon A. This is male. This is the internal ID. Color, position, the terrain, for example, that one can only live on land. The number of food that he has been able to find, and many other parameters like the dopamine and all the other parameters that we have in the Neuraxon side. This one, for example, as you see, is BH. It is C. And what happens is that when they mate, if they can step a bit into the sea, as you can see with this one, or step a bit into the land, like if they were able to get into the shore. And if they meet there, one male and one female, they were able to mate and have one of the offsprings that is able to cross the things. This is one of the key elements here in trying to build these new things. As you see, the time is very basically finishing. You have still this one here down, as you can see there. And he probably will die at some point in the very near future. When he dies, what is going to happen, as you can see, he is the most alive at the moment, is that new thing that you can play directly a new game, a second round, and all these three are going to live again, basically starting from zero, as you can see. You can restart, or you can wait for that. This is, as you see, a different new world. These are made in here, as you can see, and here you have all the best of all time, and that's one of the things that you can save. Of course, you can pause at any time, and you can click on any of the Neraxoners also if you want of them. As you can see, this, for example, has 7 hidden neurons. And you can save also the Neuraxoner in the visual format. The visual format is the visualizer that we have. We can save it here. And then we can, of course, try to load it in this other Neuraxon builder. If you remember, that's the one that we create for our paper. As you can see, the parameters here are different. And you can load this Neuraxoner if you want, the one that we have just created. You can find it here. And of course, you can create it in case you want to see it in a Neuraxon builder. So this is the small one that we have created. As you see, have only 40 neurons in total. These are the 3 input neurons, and those are here the output neurons. Basically, as you see it here, it's basically activating different things, and all these things are related to how all these Neuraxon behaves in that case. So as you can see, we have this capability to have this full-fledged system where we can create new Neuraxons, see how they live, and of course then try to understand